Tonight, we continue our candidate profiles ahead of next Tuesday's primary elections, turning our attention to Roanoke City Council, where 3 seats are up for grabs in November. WDBJ7's Amaya Howard sat down with 3 Democratic candidates to learn their goals if elected.
The 2024 primary election day is just around the corner, and 3 seats are for the taking in Roanoke City. The candidates are Terry McGuire, Faison Nash, and Benjamin Woods. Nash, born and raised in Roanoke, serves on the Roanoke City Equity and Department Advisory Board. His priorities are public safety, infrastructure, and business development.
And we don't want to continue to, take cash from our citizens in the sense of taxes for their real estate or their personal property. So we need to explore other avenues to generate revenue for the city and grow.
McGuire ran for office 2 years ago. His focus is supporting youth recreation and after-school programming, and he hopes to see more public engagement.
We're doing the best that we can to actually involve people in the processes, regardless of what they are, planning, zoning, tax conversations, the new city manager coming. I think it's just really important that we listen to and take feedback from the public.
Woods built and managed nonprofit organizations across Virginia. His goals center around building better relations with the schools and supporting small businesses.
I would like to see a better environment for small businesses reflected with the council and the city at large, and I also want people to be able to trust their local government and bridge that divide of where they think transparency is lacking.
Now remember to hit your assigned polling location on June 18th to vote. Reporting in Roanoke, Amaya Howard, WDBJ7.